Hey, there we go. Now we're live.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yay!
the jingle bells are jingling. The
Love the
Christmas
jingle
time
bells.
is here, and
hmm
we're live on the internet. Welcome to the Ultra Live Show. I'm Andy.
And I'm Maeve.
It's awesome to be here with you, Maeve. How are you today?
I'm great.
You
I'm great
are
about my Santa hat.
you? I know. I saw that. I appreciated the Santa hat because I don't know. It just feels very festive in here right now. You can see the green and the red
Yes.
lights happening behind me, which is always a fun time. Yeah. So we wanted to kind of kick off the holiday season here, but we wanted to do so in a little bit of a different manner, and I'll get to what that is in a second. Just so we have a little bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? Let's peel back the curtain just a little bit. When we here, I gotta get this background all going because I love this background. There it is, right there.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, polar bears, and just feels like the Coca-Cola factory up in here.
It looks like they're having a snowball fight. Oh,
Yeah, I can move it around if I want to. See, look at this. Oh boy.
whoa!
I know, crazy. Here's what happens. So Maeve and I have a pre-production meeting before the Alter Live show, and it's usually just we're gonna hit our points about what we're talking about, and then I'll go make coffee, and then Maeve will do a little bit of work on the side, and then we'll get ready to go, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 happens. But when we were doing kind of the pre-production here, we were talking about our opening banter, and basically what that is just for us to get comfortable with the internet and to get comfortable with you. And we've got a number of people jumping online. Stephanie is here with us right there, singing,
Woo!
slanging Merry Christmas to us.
Oh, I
CRM
love
back
it.
with another Merry Christmas. Good Merry Christmas to you as well. Thanks for joining us. And so we were going to talk about something completely different, like Christmas lights. And then all of a sudden, I said that I was super busy and all I wanted to do was sit on my couch and watch a Christmas movie and eat Christmas cookies. And Maeve said, "What movie?" And it got me thinking here. Maeve, what are your top three Christmas movies of all time in any order, but preferably, and you, I don't know if you were thinking about this, but this is where I'm headed with it. So, top three
Okay.
movies, and everyone in the chat right now, let me know either your favorite Christmas movie or your top three. Maeve, Brooks, go.
Oh my gosh, this is so difficult. I kind of want to go like what our tradition is,
Okay.
like the ones we always watch.
Okay.
Um, and some of them are a little obscure, I have to say. There's this newish movie, and that was made in the last 10 years, but it's become a tradition. It's called The Man Who Invented Christmas.
I've
Have
seen
you
it.
heard of it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
We love it. We
Okay.
love it because it's about Charles
Yeah.
Dickens writing The Christmas Carol,
Yeah.
and it's just so well done, and we love The Christmas Carol,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's become a tradition. So I would say that's like kind of up there of the ones that we have to watch every year. A new favorite.
Okay.
Um, I love A Christmas Carol,
Mm-hmm.
but specifically the Patrick Stewart movie version.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
Love that one. That's one that we always watch.
Uh-huh.
Um, such a great cast, such great scenes.
Patrick
Fezziwig,
Stewart's
love it.
awesome.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good. This is so
You better
hard.
answer well here, because the
I
entire fate
know.
of the internet is resting on this answer.
I know. Like, there's just so many. Okay, I'm just gonna go for like a safe classic, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Okay. You passed.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
phew.
it's it's a good one. Yeah. CRM jumped in the chat and answered with quite possibly. Well, I'm gonna go with one of the best ones there is. I'm gonna move that over here. So CRM says Christmas Vacation, solid.
That's a good
Bishop's
one.
Wife, also solid. Christmas Carol, very solid. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna give you my top three right now, and I'm gonna
I'm
give
excited.
you I'm gonna give them in reverse order because this is the order that we always watch them in with our family. Always, for the last 8 years, we start out with Santa Claus, the Tim Allen version.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
like so, because that's just
Great.
we've watched it a billion times growing up. So
I need to
Santa
watch it
Claus,
again.
it's fantastic. It really
It's so
is.
good. Tim Allen's great.
There's the elves with attitude kid who's like one of the elves, and it's great. Okay, so Santa Claus number 3. Number 2 is always, always, always Christmas Vacation, and that is the
Right?
second to last Christmas movie we will watch. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's got a little bit of racy parts in it. But if you kind of skip those two little parts,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best Christmas movie there is, and it's one of the ones I will quote throughout the whole year. So I will routinely be telling people like, it's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark, all year round, that type of thing. Because that's cousin Eddie, and he's talking about the Jelly of the Month Club, and anyway, that's number 2. And number
Yes, okay.
1,
I've seen it once, so the memories are coming back.
okay. Oh my gosh, you've only seen it, Maeve. Oh,
Yeah, I
Maeve.
know.
Oh
I'm
my
deprived.
goodness. No, 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 no. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to grow as a lover of Christmas and as a human being.
All
Um,
right, let's do it.
the fate of now humanity rests on you, not just the internet, but now humanity. And number 1 has to be Elf.
Oh, yes.
Best
So
Christmas movie
good.
ever. I mean, if you ever watched like the behind the scenes or listened to how that thing was actually made, they had no money and they did it all basically on a shoestring budget. And the parts that Will Ferrell is kind of walking around New York, that was just Will Ferrell, a cameraman, and a director, and that was it. And he was just free spinning, kind of just being himself, like picking the gum off the bottom of the rip. He actually did that. That was actually somebody else's gum.
Oh my
And
gosh.
him walking into the best coffee in the world place, that wasn't scripted. He runs in and says, "You did it." Wasn't scripted, and none of that. Him doing the thing up the escalator with his finger or with his one leg, and unscripted, completely awesome. So it's the number 1 Christmas movie there is, and I hate
I
to.
agree.
I Okay, good. I'm glad we're
I
on the
know, I
same page.
agree. I have to say the first time I saw that movie, I was really young, and it was, like, probably my first taste of, like,
Good
you know,
movie.
good movie comedy, and I felt so, like, sophisticated
Yep.
watching it because my parents were laughing along with
Yep.
me.
Yep.
I was like, "Okay, now we're equals."
100%. 100%. You grew up at that day. You might as well
Yes,
had
I
a
was
driver's
like,
license that day.
oh my gosh, yes.
Anyway, speaking of Christmas, if you know us, you love us. We've been college, no carnival. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. CRM gets it. We So routinely on the Alter Live show, we talk about the platform. We talk about what Alter Live is, the fact that Alter Live is a platform that helps you gather together online, where you get to worship together and watch parties. You get to socialize at virtual tables. You get to talk in rooms. You get to hold meetings. You get to do all of these things through the Alter Live platform. And the Alter Live show is a chance for Maeve and I to talk to each other, to talk to you on the other side of the screen, wherever you're watching, and to also kind of talk about some tips and tricks for the platform, because let's face it, it's a huge platform. There's a lot going on, and people are constantly changing. Churches and organizations are constantly changing. And so we want to make sure that we're helping you engage your community as best as possible. And so you can see by all the background here and in my room and then in Maeve's room with her awesome Santa hat that we're in the Christmas spirit. And so we actually just put out a kind of an online engagement guide for Christmas. And we wanted to kind of dive a little bit deeper into some of those items. If you look in the description below, if you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, you can look in the description below and find the link to that guide. And you can download it and use it. It looks beautiful. And really, you can take it with you and try to implement some of these things, because a lot of them are real quick. You can kind of get a lot of them up and running tomorrow if you wanted to. But Maeve, I wanted to kick it to you, since you've been spending a lot of time in this guide and with kind of some tips and tricks. And today we wanted to jump into those things that we can use for your lobbies.
Mhm.
Not just your events. We'll talk about events next week, but for your lobbies. So, Maeve Brooks, where do we start today?
Yes. Okay. We start with a fun one. I have to say,
Cool.
I'm excited about this one. Yeah, as Andy was saying, so we're focused on lobbies today because lobbies are really like the place where people start to make connections. They start to talk to each other. Yes, we talk to each other in rows in the event space and in the auditorium, but once you kind of move to the lobby, that's almost when we kind of turn our like friend
Mm,
networking connection brain. And we're like, okay, time to talk about some fun things,
yeah.
time to make connections, time to make some friendships. And so here are some events that are going to help encourage that and that are super easy and you can really, you know, tailor them to your needs and you can do as little or as much preparation as you want. Some
Mm,
of them are like very quick, exactly as Andy said, you could do them tomorrow. So we're going to start off with a fun one that is for kids and adults is a hot cocoa social. We love hot cocoa. We love hot drinks. You could
mm.
do even coffee or a cider, whatever you want. So you could really do it in two ways. You could do a DIY version of say to your congregation, okay, we're going to meet in the lobby at this time. Bring your hot drinks. We'll talk. We'll have some fun times. Or you could go an extra step further because we've heard of churches who hold events and the people who sign up, they send little like gift bags of like the materials for the event. Like we heard of a church who did a movie night and they sent little popcorn and fun little gifts to the people who signed up for the event. So you could really go either way. You could DIY, come as you are, bring your fun mugs, bring your homemade Swiss Miss or whatever you want to do, or you could take that extra step and send out some favors to the people who signed up. So that's just one way. And you would do this. I think it would work really well with the tables
Mm,
because it adds that sense of closeness and
mm.
like a couple people per table and then you can mingle for the tables and okay maybe like your family who's gonna be at this table and then you'll go and be like okay I'm gonna go check on this table I see my friend at another table and so you can mingle within the tables and have those close connections instead of being in a big room kind of not knowing what to say at
Hmm.
first.
That's interesting. What about doing it in a room as well? Like, would it
Yeah, you
would
could
it
totally
would
do
you
it.
be able to kind of translate that to a bigger room?
I think you could. I think the reason why I said tables at first is because of like that closeness to start. Okay,
Mm,
maybe you don't entering a room and you're kind of just like, how is this gonna work? Like, are we all gonna just talk together? But then it depends on how many rooms you make, because you could make a bunch of different rooms and say, mingle between the rooms. But I like that idea of you with your hot drink
yeah.
gathered around a table talking to people and then having the option to go and stop at other tables if you want along the way or stay at that table and just talk about your favorite Christmas movies like Andy and I just did for a couple minutes.
I like that. I like the fact that it even helps for places like Florida right now. It's like 78 degrees outside, and I still would love to hang out with a bunch of hot chocolate. So, good one, Maeve. What else we got?
Yeah, so the next one is Advent prayer and contemplation because as soon as Thanksgiving ends, we want to start listening to like all the Christmas music, all the, deck the halls, holly jolly, all that good stuff. But we have to realize that, you can't just jump for like, the fun Christmas music and the joy and stuff. You have to kind of go back and be like, okay, this is a time of waiting like that Advent season, I feel like is so hard for everyone in so many different ways. And so recognizing that in your community and making space for them to come. And you could do this in rooms or in tables of you could even have a table part of the hot cocoa social.
Yeah.
So if someone bring their hot drink, we'll have tables for mingling, but we'll also have a table for prayer and contemplation and how can we pray for you? Here's a
Hmm.
verse to help you get thinking and prepare for this Advent season because I feel like no matter who you are, it's hard. Like for students, it's when finals are happening. Like that chunk in between Thanksgiving and Christmas is always like the death of me. But then other people is like oh my gosh, my family is coming out of town. I haven't seen them so long. There's a lot of anticipation there, like excitement, but are we all going to get along? So having that time of realizing that Advent is hard, it's kind of supposed to be hard because we're waiting, and we want to recognize that and help you realize that it's okay to feel this way, and we're going to take time to be with you and pray with you
Mm,
if you need.
that's good. I The one thing that strikes me about the Advent, so at the church I am a pastor at, actually, we have been doing I and one of my colleagues have been doing a giant social media devotional about Advent, and we're keeping it under
Ooh.
60 seconds so we can post it on Instagram and all this. But there are often and have been a lot of times when I would love to sit with people, because I can do that thing in a minute and I can talk to somebody about the point for that day
Mm.
of Advent in a minute. And I would love to sit in a room or at a table with somebody and just talk with them about that and just say, hey, here's what this is about. And it's going to be a little tough to do it if you don't have an event or something alongside of it. And so we can talk about kind of
Mhm.
how we can do that next week. But in your normal church services on Sunday or Wednesday or whenever you're doing your services, you can open up the lobby and say, hey, Pastor so and so or lay leader so and so is going to be at one of the tables talking about Advent, and here's the topic for the day. Boom, and then you put that up, rename your table, what that description is going to be, or what the Advent point is going to be. Bob is your proverbial uncle at that point.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly what you said about having it would be good to pair event alongside it. That's why I said that you could even have that, like pair it with one of the other events that we're going to talk about, as we move forward. So next is uses for polls, which actually can be used to kind of start these events.
Right. I'm actually
Because,
going to flip over to the other screen while you're
oh, perfect.
talking so we can actually, bada bing, bada boom. That's not the right screen.
Uh-oh. Well, we're
There it
still
is. I
thankful. There we
found
go.
it. There it is right
Perfect.
there. Cool. So I am right now currently in the lobby. Now, to access polls, obviously you can come over to
Mhm.
the right section, click the little polls thing, and then right here at the bottom, you get a button that says add new poll. And so I'm going to add a new poll. Maeve, what are we going to be using these polls for?
So polls are a great tool to start conversations and um, encourage people to talk to each other.
Hmm.
And, for the Christmas season, there's like millions of opinions and thoughts about Christmas movies, activities,
Millions.
like millions. I mean, don't ask me to, spout them all off, but I have a few.
I like it.
But as you're talking about Christmas movies, you could put a poll that says, "What's your favorite Christmas movie?" Give some choices.
Hmm.
Andy, put down Christmas Vacation, put down Elf, um, all the ones we listed. And so when people first come into the lobby and they're like, "Oh gosh, I don't know if I should take a seat yet. Where should I take a seat?" Have people take this poll, and the people who choose Elf go to the Elf table
Hmm.
because you can name the tables, which is a great tool on Altar Live. But here are some ones. I know it can be like hard to come up with some fun ideas, so I'll just list a few that I think are fun. And you can do like either like which do you prefer, or you could give choices depending on how many people come to the event. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Are you team animated or Jim Carrey, Grinch? I know
Which
we've
is the
said
one
that
that
before, but I think it's
I'm
a
posting
great
that
one.
right now. So
Oh,
if you
perfect.
wanted to jump into the event later after you get done, you can vote on this. You keep going. I don't want you to see what I'm voting for.
Okay, okay. Favorite Christmas song. We talked about this on a past episode, naming the different Christmas songs. Which do you prefer, caroling or ice skating? Andy, do you prefer caroling or ice skating?
Ice
I'm
skating,
curious.
dude. I grew up playing hockey. Let's do it.
Yes, okay, right, right. Okay. I would have to say caroling because I do love to sing.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did used to ice skate though, but that's a
Wait,
story for
figure
another day.
skating or like hockey skating?
Both, because
Okay.
we had a pond and we'd
Dope.
figure skate on it, but then we'd also play
Dope.
hockey with like the neighbors. It was a
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
cute little New England idyllic time.
I love it.
Um, And then and this is a fun one. Do you have the 3 wise men in your nativity scene? I think that's, like,
Hmm.
a definitely a conversation starter because some people don't.
Ooh, that's kind of hot
I pers
button.
I know, 'cause, are we gonna go for the classic nativity scene, or are we gonna go,
Oh, they came 2 years later.
biblically correct?
Yeah.
I always like to stagger them, so they're kinda, like, on the way.
So you have the nativity scene here, and then on the other side of the desk, you've got them over
Yeah,
here. Okay, cool. I
like,
like that.
honestly.
I like that. That's cool. That hey, way to split the difference, Maeve. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta have a compromise.
Totally, totally, totally.
And then you could even this could be, like, a good conversation, what part of the Christmas story resonates with you the most? So,
Hmm.
maybe the angel singing to the shepherds, Mary treasuring everything in her heart, no room at the inn.
Hmm.
Because I that's a tradition in my family, we always read, the nativity story on Christmas Eve, and we always say, "What part resonates with you most?" And it's
Oh,
interesting to see what parts resonate with people, and that's such a great, conversation starter that will really, like, have everyone kind of, focus. And yes, we love Christmas movies, but Christmas isn't about Christmas
no.
movies. Come on, guys.
That's good though. I like that.
Yeah, so these are just some ideas that for polls because really the possibilities are endless. You can ask any question and it can and to encourage people to take a seat because people love to talk about themselves and love to talk about their opinions. So it's a perfect start to
I
the
agree.
animated version of The Grinch is better than the Jim Carrey version.
You all right? We're gonna end the show. You got to be. You know, have we've talked about this before, haven't we?
No, the animated is better.
Oh no, I said Jim Carrey is better.
What?
Yes,
I'm shocked.
the
Okay.
reason is recency bias because I just watched the animated one with my kids this weekend,
Okay.
and the new animated one, and
Oh.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's got what's his face, Doctor Strange, or not Doctor Strange.
Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And Pharrell did the music, which the music is awesome. But it's
Okay.
just like, oh, so we're doing this again. I can't. Anyway, CRM had an
Andy,
idea.
I swear you said the animated one is better, like, a few
The old,
episodes
yeah,
ago.
no, 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 the old animated one, 100%. The
Okay, that's what
old.
I meant.
Oh no, I thought we were talking about the new one. I
Oh,
can't
I haven't
switch.
seen the
I
new
can't,
one.
Maeve. Part of the polls with
Alright, back to
part of the polls with Alter Live, you can't switch your thing after you vote. CRM popped in and
Oh,
said
no.
we're looking at doing a candlelight worship service and then contemplating it in our fellowship room with everyone holding a lit candle. And I love that idea. I
That is
absolutely
a
love that
yeah.
idea. Next week
I
at
think it's
CRM.
actually on the guide.
Yeah. Are you sure he's not part of the guide here? We're actually going to be talking about event ideas next week, and candlelit services is definitely one of them because there's just that. It has cut a deep channel in everybody's heart that we do a
Mm,
candlelight service on Christmas Eve. So yeah, good call. I really like that one. May what
I
else we
love
got?
that. Yes, okay, I'm gonna try to wrap this up because we're having way too much fun.
Totally.
Okay, Christmas trivia night. This one can probably I feel like it would work best in rooms because, um, you're all kind of together. It's hard to kind of get a consensus when you're at tables because
Mm,
you have to kinda go from table to table. But Christmas trivia night, you can use, the video and audio share
mm,
to play by, like playing obscure Christmas music, like name this song, album, artist, like I don't know, make it really hard for them. You could even play like short movie clips. Like I've heard of trivia games where they play just the audio of a
mm.
movie and you have to guess what movie it is or like who stars in it, something fun like that. Or you could even just do the classic, the host reads off a question and whichever family, because there's a raised
Raise
hand
hand button. Yeah.
feature on rooms now. So, if they do like a Christmas fact, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I should have been prepared. But something,
What nationality was Silent Night written in?
oh,
Do you
that's
know?
a good one. I don't know.
Call on me.
Andy?
Yeah, German. It's German. I know
Perfect.
the story behind it was pretty cool
Stumped
too.
me.
Yeah, it was like it was a church on Christmas Eve and they got snowed in and they couldn't leave, and so they didn't have any power. I mean, it was 1860 something, and so they just started singing this song. That's how they did it. It's pretty
That's
cool.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah.
That needs to be like a movie or
Uh,
something.
is it? I
Is
don't know
there
if
a
it
movie?
is. It might be. I know. I'm thinking of Amazing Grace as a movie right now. It might be. I don't know. Anyway, let's
Could be.
move on.
Anyway, but yeah, stuff like that.
I like it.
Perfect Christmas trivia. Get people talking, get people excited. You know, that competitive side of people can be really fun to watch sometimes. And then, I love this one. Last but not least, Christmas Story Hour. I love Christmas stories. This is such an interactive experience, and I think it's perfect for families and the people, the kids at heart. Because we all become a little, whimsical child at
Oh
Christmas
yes.
time, hopefully. But this one I think would work best for rooms because you can all gather in one room, or you could split up into multiple rooms, do a different story for each room, and people can pick and choose. If you're wondering what stories, don't worry, I have some.
Of course.
You can do the classic nativity story, Luke 2, 1 through 20. You could do some scenes from A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. That one's a great one for children and adults. It's Dickens. It's classic.
Yep.
The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. Not a lot of people know that one, but that's a really, really good one. You could do the classic The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. There's a good Christmas scene in that. Maybe if you wanted to skip to that Christmas chapter.
Where's the Christmas chapter?
Because it's winter and never Christmas until Aslan comes, and then it's Christmas, and then the 4 Pevensey children get the presents that define their gifts almost.
Maeve, you're blowing my mind. I totally forgot about that.
Oh my goodness, Andy, you need to read it or watch it or something.
We have I've got the whole big thing upstairs, and then we got the movie.
Yeah,
well, it's on Netflix, but yeah, holy stink, dude, I totally forgot. You're right.
Yeah, it's a good chapter. So, I mean, I bet you could just, if you wanted to just skip to that chapter and just give people, if they don't know, a quick overview. And it's great. Some of the happiest memories are reading Narnia, like my dad reading me Narnia by the fire. So it's so Christmassy. And then a good one for kids is The Polar Express, which is just great. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Do you like the movie?
I've only seen the movie once, so I can't say.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not a big fan of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Polar Express was never one on my radar. I think I saw it once, and I was like, okay, Christmas movie, check.
Fair enough. Yep, fair enough.
But yeah, so I think this is a great one to, think of the surrounding community and what do they need right now, especially maybe for parents who are want to keep their kids occupied during the Christmas season. Maybe this is a great one, and you can all your family can gather in the screen together, so on the couch and listen to a story, and then maybe invite your family and be like, there's a Christmas story hour at our church, come and join this link, and we're gonna be in the room too, and so we can see each other. And it's our tradition, say, it's your tradition to always read the Christmas Carol with your cousins, but they can't make it this year, so they can come in to join the link and be in the room with you, and so to keep those traditions alive or make new traditions. Absolutely. I'm all about making new traditions.
Maeve, you know what, you do good work around here. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but you do good stuff around here.
It's a lot of fun. Christmas activities, that's a dream, to come up with Christmas activities. It's so fun.
Absolutely. Screaming loud for all to hear. Is that how it is?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the best thing about Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Yeah, there it is, right there. Yeah. See,
there
we haven't watched Elf yet. That's next weekend. So we have to split it up by weekends. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. I like how organized you are. It gets to December 20th, and we're we haven't watched any Christmas movies yet. Quick.
Oh my gosh, you wait that long?
Yeah, because my parents are really big into the Advent season, which I love.
Yeah.
But so they don't. But then it gets to the end of the month, and I'm I didn't listen to Christmas music at all. I'm just listening to sad hymns.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, yes, you're not wrong, but also just go to Spotify when you get done with this.
I know.
Just
No,
go,
I will.
Go to
Oh
the,
my gosh.
Oh yeah, it's rife with everything you can imagine. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining in with us here on the Altar Live Show. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you being part of the family. In the description or comments of this video below, you can go and grab that online engagement guide. Next week, we're going to be talking about more ideas for your events. And there's a lot more to kind of sift through as well. In the meantime, if you ever need anything, any help, anything, let us know in the comments or hit us up on any one of our socials, which is right below. It's over there. It's over there. It's by Maeve's head. You can hit us up on our socials, and we'd be happy to help you. Maeve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. Everybody else, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.